Hello, everyone. Raymond Mhor, Kilted Prepper. How's everybody doing today? A lot of stuff going on in the news, and I just wanted to come in here real quickly and give you guys some talks about what is going on. But today, what I think I'm going to do is actually start a series on tangible assets in these troubling times. My hat's weird. There we go. But first, do me a favor, and if you're new here, like, subscribe, and share, and then ring that little bell so that you get notified when we are posting new videos. But do me a favor also, please subscribe. YouTube is doing something weird, and in fact, I saw it on Pinball Prepper this morning, and he had the same thing. I woke up this morning and I saw a boatload of subscribers, leaving and gone. And so watching his video, he's noticing the same thing. And several other prepper channels are also noticing the same thing, that a lot of our subscribers are deleted. So do me a favor, help me with the analytics and subscribe to this channel, and then get like, subscribe, share. But it'll be helping us, and you'll be helping with these algorithms and everything like that. So please help support this channel and everything. But with everything going on in the financial world and dollar and everything, we're seeing some pretty crazy things take place. And the dollar is sitting at a pretty precarious place at the moment. Yesterday, it was interesting, March 29th, France was the first ones to actually use the Chinese yuan as a method of payment for China. And what they did is they bought a bunch of liquid natural gas, or LNG, and I posted that to my Telegram group when that took place. And then also yesterday, what happened is Saudi Arabia also joined the SCO, which is the Shanghai Cooperative Organization, basically China. And I really have strong suspicions, as well as a lot of other people are going to have strong suspicions, that Saudi Arabia will probably join BRICS, as well as possibly even Iran. And if that takes place, then these are all major countries that are major oil producers. And by them ganging up and doing something like that, they could really, basically damage the dollar quite a bit. Now, do I see the dollar dying like overnight? No, I don't see that. But what I do see is the dollar being, basically death by a thousand cuts, because what we're seeing is a division in the world. And so a lot of the countries that are supporting NATO and supporting the big U and everything like that, with everything that's going on, are on one side. And then on the other side are people who are kind of fence sitters, and ones that are supporting the whole BRICS idea. And so odds are, is more of these questionable countries that really are not our friends are probably going to be start joining the BRICS. And so we'll see, in a sense, a competition and a fight between the BRICS currency, which is probably going to be the yuan, and then the US dollar, start competing for a global currency reserve and or petrodollar. And so this is something interesting. Now, what happened today is that Brazil and China had made an agreement that they are going to start making all financial transactions in the yuan. Again, BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So they're a little conglomerate, and that's what they're doing. So Brazil and China today actually signed a document agreement that they're going to start using the yuan versus the dollar. And a lot of these news items I put up in my Telegram news group the moment that they happen. So if you're not part of my Telegram news group, there's links down in the description to join that. I highly encourage you joining that and get on this news. I send out news that is pertinent the moment that I see it and the moment that it's happening. And it's interesting, a lot of the news that I'm pushing out to you guys then finally shows up 24, 48 hours later in the mainstream media, if that's what they report at all, and things. So jump on my Telegram group. I'm really working hard to shoot news out to you guys and really keeping you guys, informed. And especially in today's world, we really need to keep an eye on things. There's rumors going around that we're going to really see a slippery slope for the dollar in and around June. And the interesting thing is there is a grain agreement. The UN brokered a deal between the big U and the big R, and continue to allow grain to go out. Well, the deal used to be like 120 days, and Russia said, "Nope, not playing that game. We're only going to be doing 90." And or 60, I forget the exact number, but they shortened the time frame of the agreement. And if you kind of run the numbers, that's also kind of the beginning of June, in around summertime and everything. And so I think the European conflict is going to jump up and really amp up in the summertime, which is what is expected anyways. So with all that going on, and we're witnessing the slow demise of the dollar. What I wanted to do is, and again, I wanted to kind of do a series here of things, and in fact, I'm sorry about this. A lot of this stuff that I'm talking about is in my book, Survive the Coming Storm: The Poor Man's Guide to Preserving Your Wealth in an Economic Collapse. And so if you get the book and everything, do that. And in fact, I think I still have some of my packages left where I'm giving a thumb drive full of information. I believe it's about 9 gigs of information, 7 or 9 gigs of information, PDFs, ebooks, videos, audios, all that, a credit card and IP38, and some other goodies. And so I'll put a link to that also. Well, in fact, I'll pin that to the top so you guys have that. But autograph book and all that. But I'm talking about tangible assets because there's lots of people out there that do not have 401ks or IRAs or any huge retirement savings and things. So people are really wondering, what should I do to preserve my wealth? And so what I talk about in this book is a lot of tangible assets. Now, of course, there's silver and gold and everything like that, but there's a lot of other things that people can do and purchase, especially today, and start preserving their wealth in these things. And what I wanted to talk to you about today is tobacco. That is, in fact, a lot of vice items are very good tangible assets because they're vice items. And so tobacco, alcohol, some of these other vice items and everything, but these are good things to help preserve your wealth. And tobacco is what I wanted to talk to you guys today and show you what we are doing in that tangible asset arena and what I do. A lot of people jump instantly to cigarettes. Oh, I'm going to buy a bunch of cigarettes and everything, but unopened cigarettes, I mean, cigarettes are not a good investment if you're doing it for a tangible asset purpose. They can stay fresh maybe for about 6 months, if you don't unwrap them and all that other stuff. There's people that will actually wrap them up and put them in the freezer and everything. Max length on that is about 2 years. And then what happens is that the paper starts to degrade, and so the tobacco and all that goes really stale and everything. They just put tons of chemicals and all kinds of stuff in cigarettes and stuff. And so they are really not meant to store long term. And I don't know if you saw that movie with Kevin Costner and everything. They had the smokers, and the guy had like a ship full of cigarettes and everything. Folks, that ain't gonna happen because cigarettes just don't last. The paper just does not last with all the chemicals and stuff that they've got on it and everything. It just slowly degrades. So cigarettes are not a good option for doing and saving and preserving your wealth. But one thing is, there's two things actually: cigars and pipe tobacco. Now, I tend to lean towards cigars, but both these tobacco items are meant to be stored long term. Pipe tobacco actually can store for a really, really long time. I've seen, 60, 70, 80-year-old tins of pipe tobacco going on sale on some of the tobacco auction sites that I'll look at and everything, and it's it holds its value very much so. In fact, I was recently in a very fine cigar store, and if you find a good cigar store, odds are is they have a special humidor with vintage cigars. And if you want to go in and just ask, hey, man, you got any vintage cigars? And they will either have them or they won't. But I saw probably the oldest cigar was from 1969, and I think they wanted something like $150 for just one cigar. And so cigars, if you take care of them, will last a very long time. And so a lot of the tobacco and everything that is rolled with, the aged leaves and everything, there's leaves that are aged, 10 years plus in that they roll the cigars in and everything. It just helps mellow the cigar out even more the older that it gets. But what I wanted to show you is what we've done and what we're doing is this is just an inexpensive humidor. And I think I picked this up for like 20, 30 bucks. I can put some links to it on Amazon. But what I've done is these are, some of my barter cigars and so forth here. But I've got, different brands, different types. I've got, good expensive cigars. I've got, this is expensive, some medium cigars and things. But what I have in here are these Bovita 72% humidity packets. Now, if you keep these in your humidifier, they will last probably 3 to 6 months. I've got 3 of them in here. And so I'm keeping my cigars very nice, very humid. I'm taking care of them and ensuring my investment. Another thing that I have, and it's gone down to what 67 for 63% because I got this thing open, but this is a digital humidifier, and so it's a humidity gauge. And I keep this in here as well, so that I keep an eye on the humidity for my cigars. And then another thing is that I use blue painter's tape, and what I do is I tape around these seams here, and then that will keep my humidifier or humidor completely airtight. Now, another solution that you guys can do, and this is something that I've done as well, is this is called a Tupperdoor, or it's basically a Tupperware tin. I think Glad makes this or something like that, or KitchenAid or whatever. But you can find these at the grocery store. These make great humidors. They're inexpensive and things. And what I've done here again is I've got a bunch of cheapy cigars, and these are I call them Clint Eastwood cigars, but these are very barterable, very tradable. Hey man, I'll trade you a cigar for a loaf of bread or something like that. But this is super airtight, and as you saw, I had my Bovita in there, so it stays humidified, and the cigars stay nice and fresh, and it's got a nice airtight seal. But this is a great solution for keeping cigars as well. If you don't want to spend the money for a humidor, these work great, and a lot of people use them. Other things that you may have seen is like these tall jars with a clasp on them with a rubber seal. I see a lot of people use those, and they put a Bovita in that as well. So, but these make great inexpensive humidors. And what you can do is get a bunch of these, these sandwich ones, and divide your cigars up into different types and things, and worths, if you want to break them down to how much they're worth and everything. But this is a really, really great way to store cigars, store tobacco for the long term. And again, I've got my somewhat medium to expensive cigars to my cheap cigars, and I'm slowly building up my cheap cigars so that we can have a bunch and use these for barter and trade and everything like that. Because again, vice objects are great because people just want their cigars. People just want their tobacco. And so I'm a big proponent of, putting tangible asset money into vice items because, they hold their value. I was amazed just the other day. I went to the ABC store here, and that's where we get alcohol, something, something here in Virginia. Back in Texas, we had huge liquor stores. Here in Virginia, we don't have. They're little itty bitty dinky things, but I was still amazed at the price of the alcohol and how much it is nowadays. At least here in Virginia. Here it's very, very expensive, and I was blown away. But again, a lot of this stuff, the prices are going up. So if you bought a bottle of scotch, say, 2, 3 years ago, and it was only 18, 19 bucks, odds are you're probably looking about 27, maybe even $30 for that same bottle of scotch that you got. Now, I'm not talking rock anything, but just some, call it what, Johnny Walker Red. Last time I checked when I was in Texas, it was going for about 18, $19 a bottle. And here, the 750 milliliter bottle was going for $27. So the price of alcohol is even going up. But these are all good things to, put your money in. These are good barterable items and everything as intangible assets. Because as the dollar starts to demise, your buying power is going to be taken away from you. So what cost $3 a day in a month's time may cost, $10. Or if we start really seeing a hyperinflation situation, if what cost you $3, today, in 2 months from now, and then maybe a hyperinflation situation, it might cost 50, $60. So what I really encourage you to do is really start thinking about tangible assets. Anything that you need for the next maybe 10 years and make it a big item, these big items. So dehydrators, grain mills, tillers, you name it, whatever, Berkey water filters, whatever. Um, Look at these items, get them now, because as the dollar starts to lose its value, the prices of everything is going to go really high. And so what you're doing is buying tangible assets, things that you need now, because if you wait and till the future time comes, then things are going to be super, super expensive and you may not even be able to afford it at all. So start looking at things that you need to get, start looking at tangible assets and barter items, and start getting these things now, because something like that, or something like this might buy you a week's worth of groceries or trade, or something. But this might help you and your family down the road. So I really highly encourage you guys to start considering and looking at tangible assets and doing that. And again, I talk a lot about this in my book, and again, I've got a link of it down in the description below. But if you order my package, I believe, like I said, I got about 5 or 6 left, and I'll autograph the book and all that other stuff. But really start thinking about these, folks. Start making your purchases now. Start getting these items now. And if you're sitting on a savings and everything, thinking your money is safe, your dollar is dying. And so what you want to do is put them in things that you want or you need and everything. You need a new radio, go out and get the radio, because this is a tangible asset. And so by doing things like this, you're going to be able to keep you and your family above the water, ahead of the curve, and away from the masses. Because when SHTF happens, it's going to hit the fan and people are going to, just be going crazy, and you're not going to find anything on the shelves. And if you do, it's going to be outrageously expensive. So get stuff now. So the next show I'll probably be doing, I may be talking about some other tangible asset and things. So because I want to do a series on things and kind of give you guys ideas of what to do, and where to start putting your money and everything like that. So, but if you're new here, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Thank you for being here, tuning in. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, and share, and then ring that little bell so that get notified when I put up new videos or I go live. And then to my wonderful community members, thank you so much for tuning in and checking it out. I see Jennifer, I see Katie, I see Macabus here. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in and everything. And if you guys have any questions or anything, do not hesitate to contact me. My email address is down below in the description. And so you have means of contacting me. I really work hard answering my emails and such. And then also, if you're not on my email list, you missed out on the banned book that I sent out last night. If you're on my email list, I'm always trying to send you out really good books or files and everything. But I sent out a banned book that I think was banned in 1969, and it was just too dangerous for the public to have. And so, if you're not on my newsletter, then get on it. It's free, folks. Go to raymondmhor.com or thekiltedprepper.com. And in the upper right hand corner is how you sign up for my free newsletter. So do that, get that book, and get the other things. And I send out emails all the time. I'm always sending out buy alerts and other things. The same thing, sign up for my Telegram group. Again, link in the description below. And the key is staying informed and staying ahead of the curve, folks. And so the more that you're informed, the better decisions you're going to be able to make and keep you and your family safe, secure, and healthy. So let's see. Mechabus, that's a good idea. Here, Mechabus said, everyday survivals, tobacco, 5-pound bags, 56, 200 tubes. Great job. Yeah, I totally agree. And then thank you for the tubes. Come with the filter. Good job. But yeah, start doing this, folks. So, but again, next show, I'll probably be doing something tomorrow because I really want to get these things going. The news is rolling really fast. And so I want to get you guys prepared and give you a lot of ideas of what you can do for tangible assets. So that's everything, folks. Just thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Raymond Mhor, Kilted Prepper. So we'll see you. Goodbye. God bless. And kilt on.